Every morning I come to the theater expecting for something interesting to occur. I wish something surprising happened. I wish the actors organized an unscheduled rehearsal, came up with extraordinary ideas, amazed me. This comes about every day. Silent zone. These are the most valued moments when you are silent and the spectators watch you in amazement. With no text, they read you. They know how you live on, why you live, what the primary aim is. The aim was to create a special, sincere theater with sincere actors. You can't deceive the audience. They feel where you are, what your soul is like, whether there is humanity in you. We are actors, and the main idea for us is to cultivate the human in ourselves. That's why no one will give out carrots to you. Sometimes a stick is also necessary. It's needed for the growth. What's the purpose of this song? What's the aim of these arrhythmy? What is the connection between them? All of that has been thought through. And you don't have an idea of all that. This is not acting. For example, I still remember the parts I played many years ago. Sometimes at night I think why at that time in 1962, 1975, I staged a mise-en-scene incorrectly. I lie and think that the mise-en-scene was a failure. Nurkanat is a talented actor who has brilliantly presented himself on the Kazakhstani scene. As an actor, he played many parts in other directors' stage productions. But his dream is to stage performances how he views them, to be a director and to introduce into the Kazakh theater something of his own, which finally led him to directing. Our mentor always says we must not betray our dream, never give it up despite any hardship, and to find a way to achieve it. If an artist doesn't have a fantasy, a dream, their time on the stage will be very short. Despite being in his 60s, Nurkanat is still a dreamer, just like a young man. This is a must-have quality for a director and an artist. Whatever production by Nurkanat you see, there is always a dream behind it. Be it a love story, an epic, or a psychological drama, behind all his staging works, there is significant purpose to achieve that dream. Essentially, opening the youth theater was his dream. The government inspector was the thesis for our students in the class of 2006. It happened so that when we were preparing the thesis, the Minister of Culture invited experts to Kazakhstan. In Almaty, one of the experts couldn't attend the theater and came to our thesis performance. After the performance, he called me and said, "I didn't expect to see a performance of this level in Kazakhstan. Take care of these kids and help them develop, set everything else aside. You've got a theater ready." After that, we were invited to Astana, where we opened the theater. our theater opened its doors on July 5, 2007, with the play Genghis Khan. Since the opening of the theater, we've been inseparable with our mentor. We all stick together. Our mentor helps us. Just how many difficulties we've overcome. Thinking of it, I start understanding that over a half of our lives was spent near mentor Nurkanat. He accepted me when I was a prospective student. He taught me when I was a student, and after our successful thesis performance, he cultivated an actor in me. After I gained some experience with other masters of the stage, from an actor, he made me the CEO of the theater. There was a joke among us saying that we were in the 19th year of studying with Nurkanat Zhakypbai.
Досым жоқ деп күйінеді көп пенде. Дос боларлық кісі құрып кеткен бе? Дос емес пе саған мына ұлы өмір, көшкен бұлттар, келген құстар көктемде. Нағыз достық ақ тілеуі елдіңде. Қуат берер аңқылдауы желдіңде. Андайын мен мындайына қарамай, достық шығар көтеруі жерді де. Жұрттың бәрін жазғырғанша ойлаш, шын жүректен өзің дос боп көрдің бе? Досым жоқ деп, ел көп біліп жылама. Доссыз болсаң, тек өзіңдігін әлі. Егер өзің бере алмасаң, елге нұр, жүрегіңе жұрттан шуақ сұрама.
As of now, 99% of the company are my students. There are 155 people. Our choreographer, choir master, the CEO of the theater, and the actors. All of them are my students. Here we have 3 creative groups. We created the theater ourselves, with our own hands, not having anything at all, empty-handed. After we've been called here in 2007, we didn't have a separate building, a home or a place to sleep. From the beginning, we bought all things necessary for the theater ourselves. We're making costumes overnight, and in the morning, we performed a play. We made all the set pieces, painted them, glued them up, tried to display them in their best. We were trying to save on everything. We used cellophane and plastic. We couldn't order costumes, so we had to make them ourselves. Asking someone to do job meant extra expenditure, and that we couldn't afford. Even today, the ability to save is an advantage for us. The audience may think that there was a lot of money invested in the play, but in fact, sometimes there are even no staged sets. Rationing taught us, and particularly myself as a director, to be minimalistic.
Sen bizim ülkeye oparım diyensin. Kınamızdan arasında ödeyebilgensin sen. Sen ödeyebilgensin. Ötürük! Onun be! Ötürük! Olmam yok. Ol aslında. Onun ama. Ol men. Ol sen. Ol senin işinde. Nemese taslarını gözün ışığına tasla. Öldür onda.
But how do I make up for simplistic stage sets and the lack of gilded and decorated and silver costumes? With arrhythmy and the music, the interplay of light and sound. I am of the opinion that the richer the stage set, the more audience's attention is distracted by them. Their glances fall on some object or some fascinating costume. I don't have that. The audience only look in the actor's eye.
Лайнер биік бұлттардың үстіне шыққанда ойладым, дұрыс болды. Күйеуімнің түртпектеп жүріп курортқа жібергені дұрыс болды. Ұшақтың ауа райына байланысты ұшпай қалғаны да дұрыс болды. Әуежайға қона кетпей, үйге қайтып келгенім де дұрыс болды. Көзімді ала бере күйеуімнің жасап жүрген сұрқияларын өз көзіммен көргенім де дұрыс болды.
As our mentor says, in this life there is daily fuss, quarrels, libel, and betrayal. And while people get tired of all of that and come to the theater, they forget the mundanity. That's why he says that for a moment we should take the audience to a different world. Give them the night that will make an unforgettable impression on them. Sometimes people find something in common between our performances and what happened in their lives. That happens a lot, because we show what takes place in every person's life. And our mentor is very good at telling all that to the audience. The audience should feel that they are close to what the performance is about. They need to engage emotionally, and for that, the actor's preparedness must be at the top. I want the audience to believe me. I want them to fully trust the play that I am a part of and perceive me and my character as an organic whole. My work is to convince them so. And if I succeed in this, my mission is accomplished.
Дара күндерімнің, нала түндерімнің серігі болғаның үшін, сенімі болғаның үшін, мен сені аялаймын. Күлкімді, жайлы күнімді, азапты, қайғы мұңымды өзіммен бөліскенің үшін, қатем мен жеңістерім үшін, менің мынау қиындау тағдырым болып, о баста кездескенің үшін. Театр, мен сені аялап өтем.
The main value of our mentor is in his special view of the art. Be it word, arrhythmy, or dance, he employs a special approach to everything. His enormous attention to arrhythmy is a novelty for the Kazakh theater. At first, he was criticized harshly for that, but he did not give up. Due to his persistence, he found his style of directing, and he follows it to this day. And he taught us so. Now, performing on the stage, we stick to the style 100%. Critics and connoisseurs ripped my every staging work to pieces when they talked about the actor's arrhythmy. The thing is that I asked them to transform into something from the world of nature, to merge with it. This approach was always appealing to me. I tell my students, what are you? Grass, rain, show it. How does it rain? And you, the sun, how do you rise? You are the frog, and you are the cloud. How do you exist? Arrhythmy has a concealed meaning. It is not dancing. I use it to intensify perception when an actor lacks words, or when there is no other medium of expression. He is the most progressively minded person. What our mentor thinks of now will become topical for the youth tomorrow. He is always a step or two ahead. A year or two or 5-6 months before staging a play, I start thinking of what impression it will make, how the audience will accept it. The choir, the actor's voice, their arrhythmy, and their silent performance. How do you present all this in its entirety to the audience in the house? Our overarching goal was to bring the theater to the world standards. We achieved it 70 to 80%, if not 100. Now our theater tours successfully not only in Kazakhstan, but all over the world. Now we have the opportunity to choose festivals we would like to attend. We do not try to get invited or to send us anywhere. Invitations from abroad come to us directly from Russia, Korea. They find us themselves, and we choose where we will go. We plan our tours on our own bus in various directions to raise money for the theater and be able to attend a festival. We buy train or plane tickets. Then there's a flight, performance, and coming back to Astana. And then we tour in a different direction, raise some money, and get back to Astana. This is what our theater is like. We often go abroad to festivals, and everywhere we go, they extol our mentor, be it foreign critics, guests, or actors. After the performance, there is always a crowd gathering around him, and they ask him to give a master class. Usually in theater, if we consider a musical, for example, a professional choir sings a choral part. Professional ballet dancers do the dancing part, and circus performers do stunts, etc. While our company, they do everything themselves. That what comes as a surprise to all. All in all, over the 15-year history of the theater, we won 14 grand prizes. We are honored with the title of the brand of the city of Nur-Sultan for the original creative art projects. Our theater reached certain heights, but we are not going to stop there. We will move on, because the main principle of our mentor is to only progress. In our current situation, we need a new round. We laid a solid foundation. Now, figuratively speaking, we need to build a house. We are devising a strategy to achieve that goal. We have aspirations, but will we succeed? I don't know that.
Ах, бала, сор да жоқ, мұнда бақ та жоқ, атақ та, құрмет даңқ та жоқ, жетпейді мұнда өсек те, жетпейді саған атқан оқ. Әлди, ақ балам, мәңгілік тыныш жат балам.
Стоп.
Look, stop. This piece is to be said in aloofness. Of course, all is over. That's it. You don't need to fight anyone. There's no one who could hear you out, so you are saying it with indifference. Let's try. A person must know they are not there forever. That's why you need to make good use of time. I'm a proponent of effective use of time, and that's what I teach children.
Керек жылдамдығындай сәуленің, артыңа тастап найзағайлардың жасынын асығу керек. Асығу керек. Тындыру керек барлығын, ешкімнің күтпей жарлығын, апармай кешке асығу керек, асығу түстегі ісіңнің қалдығын.
What else can I communicate to the audience? What will I leave when I'm gone? These thoughts often nag me. A person who's got to feel the stage and liked it will never be able to leave. Performing on the stage, you can release all your emotions that have been hiding inside. The theater is magic, and its magic can heal emotional wounds. Generally speaking, all the world of arts, the stage is the nourishment for the soul. The might of the theater is its ability to take you to another world, to a different space. Sometimes, making the audience laugh, you also evoke sadness. Sometimes, on the contrary, through glumness, you bring positive emotions. We cry and these tears bring good. They will take away your melancholy and the audience will be left with happiness and thoughts of new dreams.